Welcome back, everybody. Kathy Arbor here. Hope you're all having a great day. It's not too bad a day here. I'm just making sure I have everything in order. Looks pretty good. All right. So I am going to be doing some color mixing today. I don't think I've showed color mixing before. And it is a very important part of creating art that makes things a whole lot easier on you as an artist. And it can save you a lot of money too. And it doesn't have to be boring. I know when I went to art school, um, the way they taught it, it was so boring. And, you know, you kind of glazed eyes type of thing through half of it. But it is important. And if you can find some way of learning it in a fun way, then it's a whole lot better for you. And I got inspired by watching uh, Scraps of Beauty by Xandra. She had a stream and she showed us an artist. Oh gosh, I have the name in the description below. And she has a book out and she uses flowers or garden leaves or weeds, whatever it is, and she plays with the colors in those flowers. So, hey, Sandra, speak of the devil. I just mentioned you. Hey, Candy, good to see you. Color combination in some fabric you have. You just have to experiment and do it in a journal and have some fun with it. So today I thought, okay, uh, before we get into it, this is what we did on Tuesday. And you can find that in my um, live on my channel. And this is watercolor. Now, this color challenge mixing can be done on any paper, really, because it's just experimenting. And it doesn't have to be expensive journal, it doesn't have to be a canvas, and you can do it with any medium you have. So it could be colored pencils, pastels, watercolor, acrylic paint, oils, sprays, whatever you have. It's a fantastic way of learning color combinations, how to mix your colors to get a certain color. And there's no way of doing this properly unless you do it and have fun with experimenting. And believe me, you'll have a lot of, oh my gosh, that's a bad color. Or maybe you'll like the color. You'll find colors that you didn't realize was so easy to make. And the nice thing about it is you'll only need your primary colors plus black and plus white to make most of these up. Now there are certain colors that are man-made, like opera rose or uh, a magenta is another one, or any of the fluorescent colors. They're all man-made, so you can't make those. But um, turquoise is one that's very hard to make. So if you want to get those individually, that's fine. Um, and also try experimenting with your primaries, but change up the primary colors a little bit. So instead of, say, a cobalt blue, use a phthalo blue and see what happens to the colors that you make. It's really interesting how just a touch difference, it changes everything. So today, I picked one of my flowers. So this is a poppy. This is an oriental poppy. And they're just blooming like crazy here today. It's kind of dark looking in there, but very pretty color. Maybe I have to lighten that up a little bit for you just to see the center of it. It's got a beautiful center. And it's a very unusual color. It's probably not showing it exactly. Um, it's almost I would say a coral color. It's showing pink on my monitor, but it's actually a coral. It's a beautiful color. And inside there, the little markings on the petals. Oh, here, one broke. They're very delicate. Let's see, you have a different color down into there. It almost goes into almost a red. And then this here is almost black. I guess more into a very deep, deep purple. And then you have your lighter edges. You can look at the shadows. So you get a different color in the shadows. The highlights too will be different. The back is about the same. They do have a lot of ribbing, that type of thing. And then the leaves are beautiful green. And as you can see, the stem, it's kind of fuzzy, so it's got white in it. And the leaves are a little bit lighter on the other side. So I'm going to take one of these leaves off so we can play with that too. And we'll see if we can make the combination of colors that would be in this. And we can also do the center if you want. Center has that beautiful green, and then the stamens all around it. They're almost black. It's falling apart. Okay. Yeah, it almost looks like opera rose, but it's a little on the coral side. It's you know what? It almost looks like if any of you have Daniel Smith's coral, I think it's just called coral. That's the color it is. So you can either just make a bunch of squares or not even make squares, but just paint with whatever medium you're going to be using. So I thought I would try some uh, just acrylic paint, and we can also try something else if you want, depending on how much time I have here. We'll see. And then just trying to get some of this blobs off paint. And then we could try, I don't know, pastels or whatever. Is that too bright for you? Let me know, and I can always tone it down. Quinacridone coral. Is that what it's called in Daniel Smith? Yeah, it could be quinacridone for sure. The other thing you can do is I had this stencil here. Let's see if there's anything on it that gives a name. I don't see anything. I got this years and years ago. I don't even remember the artist. But it's a great stencil for making lines. So you can either use a pencil or you could put some paint over it. They got rid of the Quin Gold. Are they still making the Quin Coral? Oh, really? Gee, I don't know. I haven't even looked. I haven't bought, well, I shouldn't say that. I just got some Holbein paint, but golden, I haven't bought golden in quite a few years. So that was the Daniel Smith. Okay. Yeah, that's perfect color to what these are. So you can use this as a grid if you wanted to. And you can play with it too. You could draw your actual poppy if you wanted to, and then work around it. In this book, Xandra, do you remember what the name of that book is? Garden something? I can't remember. I know I think it's in my description if you want to look at that. She uses just a square grid on watercolor because she's using watercolor paper. Thanks. And I did order it. You bad girl. You enabled me. But hey, gardening and art, what a fantastic book for me, right? It just had to be. So I thought we could do some just playing with this. Now, this might be a hard one to do because of the color. It's on the coral side. So it'll be a little bit difficult uh, trying to get the right color. But I do have my regular artist grade here. I have phthalo blue. Here's some white. And I kind of want to stick to my primary colors here, just to show you what you can do. So let's see, I need a red. There's a red. Okay, there's a pyrrole red. And there's a cadmium yellow. And if I could find a cerulean blue, that would be awesome. What's this one? Oh, there's a cadmium red medium. Let's see. Blue. Cerulean blue. There we go. And then a black. Carbon black. All right, there we go. So there's our primary colors. Color in and out of the garden. She is garden cook on Ing or on Instagram. Okay, so the book is called Garden wait a minute, Color in and Out of the Garden. And her Instagram is Gardener Cook. So look her up. It just came up, then I Googled it. They got rid of the Quinn Gold. Okay, I already saw that. Okay. So there's some, cerulean is the one color. I don't think I have cayenne. Cayenne is your basic color for making other colors, but cerulean should do. And this is cadmium red medium. And this is cadmium yellow medium hue. And then we have some black. Just put the black over here. So the black is to tint it. And same with the white. It's to make it lighter, whatever color you want. Color, okay. So get a big piece of paper because you're going to make mistakes and you're not sure what colors make what. Now, if you have a color wheel, where did I put that? I know I have one. I wanted to show you. Where did I put it though? I don't see it again. Oh, I must have put it somewhere else. Darn. I wanted to show it to you. I got so much on my desk right now, it isn't funny. Oh well, you know what a color wheel is. And if you don't have one, get one. They're very helpful in seeing the what's the opposite if you're not familiar with color and combinations. Always good to have. I guess I'm gonna get a flat brush. So we know that this is a little bit on the orange side. Hey, Devin. And this, as you know, red and yellow make orange. Now, the lightest color you should have probably more of. Doesn't take much to make a color with a dark color like the orange. It's a little bit more red, I think, because it is on the pinky side, but orange. So you just have to play, and then you take your white. Okay, then we have kind of a skin tone it's made. So let's put more red in there. And it's a back and forth type of thing. Okay, that's getting closer, and then a little bit more white. Now it is almost fluorescent, so I'm probably not going to get the opera pink color. Okay, if you can see that, it's a little, what would you say, grayed down, I guess, compared to the clear color that the petal is. So let's see if we put a little bit of just that red and the white. And what we'll get is this pink. You kind of have to play with, because it just changes drastically by adding just a slight hint. So if I was to put this on here, it looks kind of antique, I guess. It's not as clear. And this one here, so this one's probably going to be more leaning on the color. See? Now this one goes, if I'm looking in the monitor, this one goes a little bit better. You could use this for the shadowing, but in real life, I'm seeing more like an opera pink. So you'd probably have to get more into your quinacridone colors. So I don't think I have any out here. Let's see. I have rose fluorescent, which might work, and orange fluorescent. Let's just play with this for a minute. I'm going to just put some on my brush here. These are the Pebeo. Take a little bit out. Mix. Now these are fairly translucent because they're a fluorescent. I don't know why, but fluorescents usually are harder to get a opaque consistency. I'm going to mix white with that. Some more pink. Let's see. See that? That's a bit of orange, I think. Oh, see, that's really weird. See, it's showing lilac in the monitor, which is it's weird. Very hard one. I should have picked a different type. Let's put just playing. Let's see what happens if I put fluorescent. Oh, there. Fluorescence with this one, I think. And it gives a little bit closer color, although it's showing pink or mauve. Let's see if we put some of that in here. That one is pretty close. These two are pretty darn close. So that's a fluorescent mixed with these two. that we first started, this one and this one. So I've mixed the fluorescent pink in with these, and it gave me a little bit of a clearer color. You're not seeing the exactly, but I can see kind of a red almost going into there. So if I were to add a little bit more red to this dark color here, let's see what we can get. It's kind of this color. Yeah, that goes pretty good with the bottom part of this. And then red, blue, and we'll get a really dark purple. So this is a little bit, we want it more on the blue side than the red side. We want a very dark purple. And then we add a smidgen of black to darken it even more. It's almost black, it's so dark. And that's that spot there. So the idea of this is if you don't want to be buying every color in the rainbow, which nowadays paints are very expensive, you can pretty well make any color with just your primaries and then just buy a few odds and ends like your quinacridones, so your teals, aqua, that color, quinacridone, rose, magenta would be a good one, and then you can pretty well go into any color you want with that. I can't wait to do her style and make Rolodex cards. Yeah, that's cool, isn't it? Okay, so we have that. And then basically the center is the same. It's a little bit on the almost gray color though. We could put a little bit of white with this. Right on the top of that, it's kind of got this gray cast because it almost looks like uh, velvet in the center. And on the stamens, there's some of it too. It's kind of this color here. I'll post this on Instagram so you'll get the real colors of it. And then the leaves, well, you have to mix a yellow and a green, or a yellow and a blue to get the green. So we have yellow and blue. Now remember, blue's stronger than yellow. So let's take, let's put it over here. You have to experiment to get the right color. So see, we have that color. It's not bad actually. So let's put the green down here. Yeah, that's a good color. So pretty darn close. Actually, almost with this into this color here. Now we need to darken it a little bit more. So let's add a little bit more blue. And just a smidgen of yellow. And then a little bit of black. It's too much. Mix a little more yellow and blue with that. I want a darker green. Okay. So then that would be the darker green. So there we go. It matches that. And then we have a really light in the stem area. And we can take a little bit more white, that green. And then even lighter, I think. Very light color. Not bad. Maybe a touch of yellow in there. A little bit on the yellow side. Once you start doing this, you'll also see that you can see tones differently. And you'll be able to distinguish colors more. When you start playing with color in this way, and that can only be accomplished by doing. It's same with drawing. When you're using colored pencils and drawing, and you get to see those underlying colors that are in everything. And until you start really concentrating on color and doing it, you won't understand that. So just get a scrapbook journal of some sort. Yeah, or even get an old book, like a actual book, and paint over the words with paint. If you're using acrylic paint or gouache paint, it'd be great. Okay. Now what else? Same green inside the center there. But we could draw, and now what we could do is draw something. So you don't have to leave it like that. You could actually either take a picture of the flower or whatever it is that you had, and then like I could do this. And this. And then take a picture with my phone. Or yeah, a magazine. You mean making a magazine and using that? Yeah. So what I would do is take a picture. There's the picture. Okay, you could do that, and then you print it out, or you can draw. So let's just do a little bit of drawing here. So I'm going to hold this poppy up. Actually, I'm going to cut this off so it's not as tall. And I'm just going to I'm gonna do it this way. So let's see, there's a, we'll put the stem down here. And all these beautiful stamens inside. And we can see, kind of see through them a little bit. So I do see a bit of green in there around the center. Little dome here. And then all those stamens are, they're kind of a little bit on the curved side. Like that. So that's what I'm seeing. And okay. And then this petal comes out like this. And it's kind of ruffled to about there. And then this other one, it's got a lot of ruffles on it. Like that. And then it overlapped. Like that. And then you see these marks, these beautiful little half moon marks. Well, actually, this one is over here. We see the bottom of it. And then this one is close to here. It's kind of serrated looking. And see these folds in the petal. There's crinkles and everything else. It depends on, you know, how much time you want to put into it. Sometimes you don't see all of the striping of the petal, just on the top. Like that. Oh, you guys can't even see. I'm sorry. Let's bring this. Okay. I'll bring you guys in. You don't have to be so far away. There we go. And then we have all these little hairs. And you can either paint this up or you could just sketch it. So I'm going to put this in a glass in front here and let's sketch or paint it up. Why not? We got the paint out already. So do a light wash. Okay, I need a little bit more of those vibrant colors. So you have to use quite a bit. And I have the others. Mix. I should mix them a fair amount. So I got quite a few petals to do. That looks good. All right. So I'm going to get a little bit more water. I'm going to do mine fairly transparent. So I have lots of brush marks, and they can represent all the little folds and stuff that's in them. So we'll do one petal at a time. Then we could also put some wording on the page to show what we did. See a little bit of this dark here. And it's kind of spiky. Like that. So I'm using the same color combinations. Go into there a bit. And then a little bit of the darker color. So let's make a little bit of that red with the yellow. A bit of black. Some white. It's just down in the bottom here, we have some of that. Let's make it a little bit lighter. No, actually, I think I want it darker. Keep it dark. A little bit of this, mix on the page. And then this side is a little bit darker because it's folded over. And you can, some of the folds would be a little bit darker. That. You can also put some highlights on while it's wet. So add a little bit of white to a little area here. Just to brighten that up. And then those lighter areas are usually closer to the top of the flower there, petals. Need a little bit of that pink in it though. Not, oops. Don't just use white. And try it again in this area. Not too worried about staying in the lines. Let's try some of this darker in here, just along the edge. Let's see, is that? Then the pink. A little bit of white. Down the higher peaks of the petal. Maybe a little more red in just here and there. And then that purple. This one. A bit more. This is a quick one. You can take your time and paint it. I'm kind of rushing here. It's darker though. Pink again. Oop. Let's put some white in there. And that dark purple right in here. Where that mark is. Thanks, Sandra. A little bit of this in here. And I do see the kind of see through it. I don't know if you can see through it. See how you see some of the green? So what I will do is use that green up. Might have to make some. Oh, I might have enough. That light green in there. Bit of blue. White. Stem is fairly light. Ah! Oh, I just put the poppy in my water container. Ah. And take a smaller brush. Let's see what I got here. This might work. And make up a little bit of that dark color again. A little bit of water, as you want the paint to flow off your brush nicely so it stays a nice form on your brush. And then just flick. A bit more water. Just play. You could do this with a Posca too if you wanted to, or a pen. Don't have to use a brush if you don't have one. Use what you got. This is just playing, experimenting, seeing what we can do. It kind of goes over the tops. Don't worry if you got too much paint. You can always go back over with green. They are fuzzy in the center, as you can see. Then that kind of grayish color. So I added a little bit of white to, oh, that had pink in it, to that mauve. That's just the top here. And they kind of have a marking on them a little bit. So I can add a little bit more the dark color. Let's darken it just slightly. And then they do have these little sections. You're not going to see it a lot, but it is there. And let's see. I'm going to take a little bit more of that pink just in here around the top. You do see some of the petal. It's not so dense with the stamens that you can't see the petal on the background. So if you need to, you could always go back. This is a fairly transparent paint, so it's easy enough to just go back over it. And it'll still, you can even go over the black and it's not going to do a whole lot. Covers up some of those white marks. And then let's make a little bit of darker area right here, I think. It's fairly dark in there. Where that mark is. There is a bit of a shine on the flower petal. So you could take a little bit, add a little more highlight, just kind of water it down here and there. So it's just very white. If you have zinc white, that would work really well. It's a little more transparent. That. And I'm going to take a little bit of this. I think this was a mix of the fluorescent and the red. And I just want to separate. There's a very thin line, a little darker around the edge of the petal. So very gingerly put that line down. So it kind of shows you where things are kind of separated. Let's see. This one went in there. Kind of curved around. A little darker because of the little bit of folding of the petal. Let's see what would show there. And then on the edge here, a little bit. Just helps. You can even put just a few areas if you want, maybe in the dips where it might have a little bit of a shadow. It's up to you. Just helps define things a little bit. I think this might be a little bit darker in here because this, remember, it gets dark as it goes into the flower. See? So a little darker in there. So I'm going to just darken some of that. So it's not so bright. Right in there. There, that looks pretty good. Oop. And then the leaf you can draw too. So we could just, let's draw it like this maybe, I guess. So let's say it went off the stem like this. So it does have a little bit of, how do I want to do this? It's a thick stem. And very serrated. We're not going to do it all, but it's kind of overlapped. Like that. Just erase that. That doesn't need to be there. And then we have a little bit of this petal. Kind of a jagged looking thing. And then we have a few little, I'm not going to draw them all, but some of them. They kind of attach to the stem there. This one is kind of interesting leaf. Okay, that should do. Let's erase that part. Darn, gotta watch the replay errands to run. All right, have a fantastic day. I'll post this on Instagram too, so you can see what it turned out. Okay, so where's my other brush? So that green and the blue, some white for the center of the stem. Goes up like that. And then the green and the blue, or the green, the yellow and the blue, make a darker green. A little bit of black. So these were just primary colors I've used. So it can be done. And I'm just gonna take some of that off my brush. Very spiky. And it does run. See how it runs down slightly? It's interesting. Dark color. It goes like that. This one here. It's kind of twisted a little bit. It does have hairs on it too. You can put the hairs on if you want with a pen or colored pencil. I think they're neat looking. Let's see that. Yeah, the inside of this would be a little bit darker. So this is the top side of the leaf that we're seeing. And the underside is just slightly lighter. So we'll make that one area a little bit lighter. Okay, so this part, I'm going to add a little bit of white to my mix and make it a little lighter. So then it'll show. Let's see if this is going to be light enough. Yeah, it's not bad. Maybe a tad lighter. I do want it to show. We'll do the little serrated edge first over top of that other color. And then as we go down, it could be a little bit darker. Like that. And just going to make a little bit of a darker edge. Oop, got red on my. Does have a kind of a highlight. It's kind of shiny in the center of the stem here. So I'm just going to add a little bit more white. Just add a smidgen up there, maybe even more. Like that. And then, of course, you'd have a little bit of highlight on your stem. So we can actually put a little bit of a shadow on one side. Actually, both sides probably do like that. Okay, so let's dry that. How do people know when I'm watching a stream and decide to ring? Yeah, I know. That always happens. Good thing it's recorded, Dot. Now those little stamens could have a little bit of darker, I think, on it. Just to define some of those a little more. So I could take a colored pencil maybe. Let's do that. Here's black. So just to get a little more definition, I guess. I like very detailed stuff, as you know. I'm thinking of how they lay. So this part they're facing you, so they're shorter as far as perspective. And as you go around, they curve a little more straighter up here because you're seeing them face on, but in a distant view. Now, when you're doing the side too, keep in mind that you're seeing a thickness of them. So they might be a little more condensed looking in there. So keep that in mind. That, see? And then those little sections, you can define them a little bit more. Have them being pointed towards the center of the flower, like that. Then let's get a white. And where did I put my, oh, there it is. My favorite sharpener. And let's put some hairs on. So they're running upwards. This isn't going to work. See, now these don't, I'm surprised this one worked, but it's harder to put colored pencil over your artist grade acrylic because it's got a little bit of a shine to it, so there's less for it to grab onto. That's why I like to work with either gouache or just your regular craft paint is awesome. Because you can paint on it. Okay, like that. And then there is hairs on this. There is some veining. I think I'll put some veining in and then go back over and paint. Oh, this won't. This will not. Let me try. This it will react if you wet it, so it's not as good. Let's see. I'm gonna try. Well, let's try this again, see if it'll go on here. Well, this goes on this one for some reason. I don't know why. So there's a few veins that you see. Like that. Not so many on the other one, but you do see some of the little hairs. I'm just going to put a few in, not a lot. And then a little bit of, let's see, maybe green. I'm just going to stick some green ones, hairy things out because we wouldn't be able to see them because they're light. We have a white background. So this way we'll see a few of the hairs. In here. Put some in there, I guess. Makes it a little more realistic. Or you could show a little bit of shadowing around those veins too. They're bumped out, so they're going to have a little bit of a shadow. It gives them more definition too. And I guess we could put a little bit of a veining in here because it's indented on the top. So there's a shadow where it's indented, like that. Take this out a little more, like that. And just a smidgen on here, I think. It needs a little bit darker of a shadow. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. And what else? Could put poppies on the bottom here. Did I spell it right? Poppies, poppies. My mother-in-law's favorite flower is the poppy. Yeah, oh, is it? I love poppies too. I just have this one and the really orangey red one. Let's see. I think I want this. I like that shape better. There, that's kind of wonky. Yeah. A little wonkiness here. I think I want it up. Yeah, that looks better. All right. And we can take Posca. We could also make these bigger. Let's see. Or just add. Let's see. What could we do with this? leave the I and the E. There. I think that looks pretty good. What color should I? Black? Yes, black. Okay, let's do black. Actually, this might look cool if it extended down. What do you think? Instead of stopping short. Let's try. Why not? Let's see. A little bit of green, yellow. Okay, we'll try that. Put the hairs on. A few hairs. I'm going to put a few on the sides too with this marker, or not marker, colored pencil. A few in there. That. Okay. Needs to be a little brighter white, but it'll do for now. Actually, let's do doesn't always, it's not perfect, but it's my experiment, so you just play with it. Okay, Then I think I'm going to use the Uniball, or not Uniball, Posca. Let's see, scissors. Yeah, poppies did really well this year in the garden. Love them. Everything's doing really well, actually, which I was really worried because we did get that late frost and it did put stuff back, but it's coming back gangbusters. Oh my gosh. Drives me nuts when I get notifications. Okay. It's a new one. Okay. So I probably have to use the thicker line. So does this inspire anybody to try to do some color matching and color mixing using pretty well anything you have? Whatever your eye is attracted to, then try to match it color-wise. You don't have to draw it out like I did, but just have fun exploring color. And once you get doing it, you'll be very surprised on how easy it is, and your eye will automatically see what you need. It's just a matter of getting used to doing it. Even use, like Devin said, colored pages out of magazines or postcards or birthday cards, whatever you have that your eyes said, I love that color. I love that combination. I know there are a lot of people doing the Pantone challenge where they take the color or the whatever the color's name is and they draw on it. That's kind of cool. Now you can write too on the color swatches what they were. So if you decide you want to do that, you can, because you'll have the name. Could be a recipe book for color. Yes, Dee Dee showed her Pantone, yeah, cards and asked if anyone wanted one. So to try. So of course I said yes. She was sending me a purple one. Yeah, it's a really neat idea. Like I said in the beginning, when people put up, "This is a lesson on color mixing," or, "This is a lesson on color theory," everybody rolls their eyes and kind of, "Oh, not for me," because it's so boring. Oh, we hated it. And when in art school, it was so boring. They and it's all because they didn't know how to teach it in a way that would be creative. And, it's so important to do, and you can save a whole lot of money by knowing it because you won't have to buy all the colors in the rainbow because you will be able to mix your own and really only need minimum of 5 colors. And if you wanna get into the magentas and turquoises, that type of thing, then you can buy some of those, but I would say maximum all you would need is probably 10 colors. So so much, um, cost effective if you know your color combinations and how things work. Alright, like that, and I can pretty this page up as much as I want. You could probably write down some of these color mixes. So this one here was cad red and what other colors did I have? Cad red and fluorescent rose. And this one is fluorescent rose. And where did I put that other one? And fluorescent orange. Um, and you could do all of these if you wanted. Like this one was fluorescent red and orange and white. This one here is blue, red, and black. This one's blue, red, black, and white. Blue, yellow, this one is blue and yellow and black. So there's our experiment using these, an actual flower. So I could actually do that and that. And take a picture. Or actually, I don't even need that. Yeah, so try and experiment with some of your favorite color combinations in whatever it is. Maybe it's a dress, maybe it's pillows or a rug, or and see if you can create those colors. That'd be a great book to start. So I'll let you guys go and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Sorry. And we'll see you on Tuesday. Have a good one, everyone. Happy creating.